Hey y'all, welcome to a new episode of 5 Star Coach, where you live a 5 star life if you take the advice. I'm Coach D, aka Venus as a boy, and today I feel like in the past weeks the tips haven't been coming through as in bulk as how they were before, but the knowledge is still powerful. And this week is just 2 tips, right? For all my 5 star ballers out there. Now, we can get right into this because we don't got to waste no time. Now, 5 star tip number 1, and I'm standing up because I'm feeling real passionate about these two. First things first is becoming who you want to be. And becoming who you want to be never means you're forgetting who you were, where you came from, what you come from, the environment you grew up in. None of that is being canceled out when you're becoming who you want to be. When you're becoming who you want to be, that's just a simple eye opener of I have free will. I have full control over who I am and who I want to show up in the world as. And I'm going to show up as him, her, them, and irregardless of how anybody else feels about me. Like, when you are becoming who you want to be, it's important to find that mental sovereignty. It's important to understand that, like I said, you have free will and you have control. You are in the seat of power when it comes to your life. So when you are thinking about becoming a different person, never put that in your head never put in your head that maybe I shouldn't do that because of this and that, because now you're giving away your sovereignty. Now you're giving away your power easily, when in reality you should be letting people and their opinions stay outside of your mind. You have to make thinking for yourself vital. You have to see it as a vital thing. You have to see it as I am in control. It's me. It's only me. Like, none of y'all matter. And it's really as plain and simple as I'm saying that. Nobody else matters when you're becoming who you want to become. And when it comes to like developing your beliefs, never ask anybody outside of you, is that true? Is that true as far as a belief go? Because your beliefs are your beliefs. Nobody else can validate them. No matter how many times somebody else says, oh yeah, that is true. Yeah, you should believe in that. You should believe in that. Your beliefs will be invalid until you validate them yourself. So always validate your beliefs on your own. Stop looking for anybody else to come around and give you any type of validation. That's that mental sovereignty being taken away. Always hold on to that message. Always hold on to that mental sovereignty. Now, when you are delving into your belief system, though, and it's certain things that are involving facts, always fact check. So you can make sure you're standing on things that are actually concrete and true. Because you don't want to be standing for no fake shit, no bull stuff. I'm trying to stop cussing. I got to stop cussing on YouTube. You don't want to be standing on nothing crazy, right? So, mental sovereignty, that strong-mindedness, that understanding of I'm in control and what I believe is true, right? And then the second part is the emotional part. When you want to become when you're becoming who you want to be, you have to be vulnerable yet self-control. You have to be open to letting those emotions flow, because when the emotions are high, the energy is high, the way that it will submerge itself into your subconscious mind, those new thinking patterns, those the new way of living will begin to get active quicker. You won't have to worry about anything else as far as, oh, I gotta, do this script and do this and do that. Those things are like those manifesting tools. Those things are great tools. Don't get me wrong. But the number one thing is that vulnerability and those emotions being brought to the forefront so you can get it into your subconscious mind quicker. Because once it's in your subconscious mind, it's going to feed that conscious mind, and then it will be your life. So allow that vulnerability to be as loud as possible. Never let your feelings dictate your actions without your mind, though. That's why I said be vulnerable yet self-controlled. Because if you want to become a certain thing, but those old ways become triggered with that change, make sure you control that, because when it's going into your subconscious mind, before it can really fully take over your subconscious mind, you have to make sure your conscious mind is backing up all of that. It's making sure like, okay, that's not in alignment with what we're feeding our subconscious mind. That's not in alignment with who I want to be. So I gotta reel that back. So that's when that self-control come in. And the self-control comes through with the first step, that mental sovereignty. You're in control. And like I said, controlling those triggers. And when you control those triggers, make sure you alchemize those emotions, that energy into doing something that is in alignment with who you want to become. That trigger comes up, take that time to, if you're someone, you're trying to, not even trying, you're feeding your subconscious mind that you are a wealthy person, and it's a trigger to come up to just spend frivolously, reel that back. Hold on to that money, because the wealthy person you're becoming doesn't do those things that the old version of you do, right? And also, when you're being vulnerable, that's the development of your feminine power. When you are finding that mental sovereignty, that's the development of your masculine power. Make sure you let those things work together, though. But remember, I always say, the feminine energy, that's the boss. The masculine energy, that's the worker. Let the boss show the worker the way, and then go ahead and do your thing. But with the being vulnerable, let your emotions flow, because then you can develop a strong intuition that will be the navigation to you becoming who you want to be. Because being vulnerable, that helps you feed that subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind going to send you all types of messages to stay in alignment. It's just with the conscious mind. Then we bring in that mental sovereignty, aka that masculine energy, to stay in alignment. Make sure you're rationalizing certain things that need to be rationalized. Don't rationalize your feelings, but rationalize the steps you need to take to get where you want to be, and that's who you want to be in this case, right? Right. So now, this ties into 5-star tip number 2. Be okay with being a contradiction. Yes, you're becoming who you want to become, but who you were is still very much alive. It's just whatever you're feeding your energy to in that moment. Your conscious energy, what are you feeding in that moment? It's okay that you are becoming a wealthy person, but you're still the type to treat yourself. It's okay to become a happier person, but always allow yourself to go through those moments of sadness. You can always focus on the good, because I'm a firm believer, like, you can find the good in the bad and the bad in the good, and I'm always going to focus on the good while acknowledging and accepting that the bad is present. Those things are true. Many things can be true at once. And especially as humans, we're multi-dimensional, multi-layered. So let many things be true about yourself at once. Don't ever feel like you have to close yourself in and box yourself into some type of mold to feel good and to be accepted in society whole time. You're denying parts of yourself that you never know you'll never know when you're going to need later on. Because you could be somebody in the past who was very rambunctious and just a pugnacious energy, and you change a new leaf, and now you're very centered and very grounded. You still need that side of you sometimes, because it's real world. It's the real life. Some people are going to try you in a way that's going to bring that side out of you. And don't ever feel as if when you bring that side out of you, you can't go back to being who you were. Those two layers, those two sides of you exist. And those two sides existing within you aren't the only sides of you that exist. So be okay with being a contradiction. Show up loud and proud in certain areas and quiet and reserved in other areas. That is okay. Show up as confident as possible in certain areas, and when you're nervous, and feeling anxious, let those nerves and anxiety, let it flow, let it be felt. But also bring it back to the first thing, becoming who you want to be. Remember who you want to be, though. Remember, if you want to become a confident person in every realm, when you are feeling nervous and anxious, let those feelings be felt, right? But that's those triggers, though. Remember, that's not who I want to be. I will accept this, like I said, accept and acknowledge the bad in the situations. And in this case, the bad is being nervous and anxious. I accept that I'm nervous. I acknowledge that I'm nervous, and I accept that I'm anxious and all this other stuff, right? But I'm in control. So let me let me turn my energy and shift my perspective actually to, I'm not nervous. I'm just excited. You know, you're in control. Control it. You don't have to feel a way that you don't want to feel. You don't have to be doing things that you do not want to be doing. You can be exactly who you want to be, when you want to be it, how you want to be it, and be that in all ways at all times. Don't feel like you have to be controlled by anything outside of yourself. Don't feel like you have to be controlled by your feelings or your mind. You're in control of it. How do you want to feel? How do you want to think? How do you want to show up? Like I said, you're confident in some areas, but you're nervous in these areas. Let that contradiction live, but also take control, though. You feel me? And another layer to being a contradiction. Those layers of us, as you grow, just let them come in. As you're growing, let those new layers just flow in without any pushback. Oh, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to. Let yourself be that, because who you want to be, you got to remember, it's a want. So who you want to be is always going to guide you to being who you need to be. And when you're met with those situations where you know on a deep level you need to be a certain way, even if it's not in alignment with what you want to be, you still should follow that. That's not taking away from the fact that's not taking away from the fact that you're no longer becoming who you want to be. You're still becoming who you want to be. It's just a different alignment in this time, that you need to be this for this moment. But just because you need to be this for this moment don't mean you can't step out. Once this moment is over, you can't go back to, all right, I'm going back to be who I want to be. And it sounds confusing and it sounds conflicting, but it's really such a simple thing once you really step back and look at how we have a brain that can consume so much information. We have feelings that are on a big spectrum. There's many names for each feelings. It's not just sad, mad, happy, what's the other one? Content. It's so many things under those umbrellas. And it's so many thoughts that we can have in a day, in an hour, within a minute. It's so much. And it is okay to believe some of those thoughts and push some of those thoughts to the side, but still honoring the fact that I did think this, though. It was me that thought this, and that's fine that I thought this, but I don't want to believe in it. I don't want to walk in it, and I'm going to let that thought go. That thought is still something that I thought, though. That's still a part of me, but that's not who I am in this moment. That's still who I am overall, but that doesn't mean I have to act on that and be that, because I still, like going to the first tip, I'm still becoming who I want to become. But I'm going to acknowledge the fact that it is a contradiction. That, yeah, I thought that was an impulsive thought, but I still want to be this person. Yeah, that thought popped up, but I still want to be him, her, them, whoever it is, right? So all in all, become who you want to be while still honoring the fact that you are still a contradiction. It be not even honoring. You're honoring, but accepting first before you honor it. Accept the fact that you are a contradiction, because when you allow yourself to be a contradiction, like I said, when new layers and new levels come to you, you'll be able to take it on easily. It's like, yeah, this is it feels like this is not in alignment of who I want to be and who I am. But obviously, this is who I need to be in this moment. So let me be that in this moment. And this moment will pass. Moments come and go all the time. Just be who you need to be in that moment. And allow yourself to be cool and be comfortable with being a contradiction. And then still honoring the fact that after this moment is over, I can let that go for now and still focus on becoming who I want to become. And now, that is the end of this week's 5-Star Coach episode. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. And I will be here next Friday as usual. And I'll see y'all.